Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it is a game week. Everybody out there, get excited as week 1 of the NFL season is upon us. And that's Goosey's galore, dude. I don't know what else to tell you on that one. Looking forward to the week ahead, getting back in the studio with Leroy Horde, my guy, breaking this all down, doing some porpoise pods with Solana, but you know, it's been a fun, relaxing weekend, and you know, seeing the chirpy chirping that's coming out from Mike McDaniel, I am liking what I'm hearing. All right, this is not a man who was being bullied around his first time around taking on Bill Belichick. Not shook at all. Not in the least bit showing any signs of bright lights, too much, too soon, all of that stuff. This is a man who feels like he is built for the moment, that he is ready to handle all this. And I still find everything that the Patriots are doing this week very weird. Very weird. I don't understand this idea of coming down to South Florida early on and trying to acclimate to the heat like they are, I don't know, something, they're reptilian or something like that. Like they're an invasive species, much like the Burmese python or the iguana, and they're overrunning the city up in Palm Beach County to get ready for this game. And look, it's brutally hot up in Palm Beach County too. Don't get me wrong; it's merciless up here with the heat, the humidity. I just don't understand what a few days are going to do about that, because for a couple of reasons. One, are you really going to run your team into the ground those first few days of practice and get them acclimated like that? Are you hoping that you're just used to the steaminess? Because you don't get used to it. Look, I live down here. This is not just a matter of it's not just a matter of physical exercise, which you can clearly see, but you never get used to how miserable it is down here with this heat. And so to think that the Patriots are going to come down here in a few days and they're going to beat the Miami Dolphins because of it, or they're going to have some kind of a mental edge because they've reversed Rocky Ford themselves by, instead of going to Siberia, they've come to the depths of hell to try and get used to the heat. I don't know. I just find it very strange. I know that, you know, hearing some of the stories from Leroy Horde about Belichick, that he does like to be prepared for all situations, obsessed with messing with the footballs and things like this. We heard this all with Deflategate and whatever method of cheating old Coach Lucifer is there doing. But to think that you're going to come to Palm Beach County and get yourself acclimated for Sunday, I just think it's foolish. I think it's a little bit weird. It also shows a little bit of gutlessness. I got to be honest with you. You can't adequately prepare to take on the Miami Dolphins in your own environment that you feel like coming down here, and you have to get used to it. Now, you know, that Hard Rock Stadium with the shade over the home team and the sun on the road team is a real thing. It does beam down on you. We've heard stories of teams getting sick plenty of times over the years with this sort of a thing. But the whole thing of it is very, very strange. Very strange that Coach Belichick finds the need to do this. Here is Mike McDaniel speaking with the media on Monday, discussing Belichick's choice.
I don't think that this has been his mode of operation, Coach Belichick's, in the years past. So clearly he feels like it's important for this team. That there's compounding variables, and I don't think it will be the reason they win or lose. It will just be a contributing factor to either. So that's kind of the way I look at stuff generally. And whether it's crowd noise, whether it's fight songs, I've been a part of it all.
It's kind of like, even you can see like McDaniel just season that maybe this is part of the Bill Belichick mind game thing, that he is trying to mess with a young rookie, that he is doing something extra to see if he can get, Mike McDaniel on edge a little bit. I don't know. But for him to just go and say, well, what's the whole point of it? And he goes, well, it's just to focus on the Miami Dolphins. You can't focus on the Miami Dolphins in Massachusetts? Is it such a thing to where you can get your team that focused in on things? Like, I was reading today, and I'm no huge fan of this guy with the work they do on Pro Football Talk, but he does some, his website is good, but sometimes what he's got is pretty wacky. But even he was writing this idea of, so you're going to have these guys in South Florida Now they're going to have them in Palm Beach. It's not like they're going to be near South Beach. Not even going to be like they're near Fort Lauderdale. But I will say, Clematis Street, very underrated. Very underrated as far as the nightlife atmosphere is concerned. And I don't think that people really understand that when they're like, oh, well, are they going to be able to be out on the town? Like, they're not going to be out at the Clevelander. It's not going to be the case. So when they're going 5 days early and they're practicing at Palm Beach Atlantic, to give the non-South Floridians who are tuning into this, like, the wildest thing that they got going on there is like a cheesecake factory, an improv comedy club. What else do they got at City Place? It's changed a lot. Sloan's Ice Cream, and down the road at the on the prestigious Clematis Street, they got like 3 nightclubs. Now, 3 nightclubs is enough to get some certain players out howling at the moon and getting in trouble if they were to be there. Because if you're staying in Palm Beach Atlantic, I imagine you're staying in downtown West Palm, which would mean that you're pretty close to all of this stuff. And I don't think that you can have these guys on lockdown. Now, Leroy Hoard has said an interesting thing. I will say that he has given some insight to this, that Belichick, when they've done this in the past, he has given the opportunity for guys to go out with coaches, and those coaches apparently have a company credit card. And if they go out with the coaches, the entire night's on the team. So that could be, his certain little head games that go on here. I don't know if he's got that going on. I don't even know if they're still allowed to do that, if that's like circumventing the salary cap or something like that. Belichick said, quote, I think there are a combination of factors, but in the end, it all looks like it sets up fairly well here. So to travel on Tuesday instead of on Saturday, we'll already be on there and be able to just focus on the Dolphins. The inside of Bill Belichick, how he gives you so much. Now, McCochin, when asked about this idea of facing Bill Belichick, is he blown away by facing Bill Belichick? Is he, shook by facing Bill Belichick? Here is what McDaniel had to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, can there be a larger disparity in career win-loss total? It would be a bigger deal, I think, if Coach Belichick and I were on the field, maybe doing like an Oklahoma drill. But I don't foresee that happening. I don't think the fans would really pay for that.
Actually, if there was a situation where it would be Mike McDaniel versus old Moobs McGee over there, I would pay a good amount of money for that. Like, what's a pay-per-view running for? About like $75 these days? I think like if you give me the old school like $50, could you watch a Mike McDaniel, Bill Belichick, Oklahoma drill? What would you pay for that? I think I'd probably go somewhere in the realm of $25. I think I would fork over like a streaming monthly subscription price for a one-off Oklahoma drill between them. And to see how that goes anyway.
So there's we do our best. I know one thing that that coaches in the National Football League, especially experienced NFL head coaches, especially arguably the best coach of all time, Bill Belichick, he's going to be prepared.
Non-arguable best cheater of all time.
So you're that. As a head coach, you better prepare your team and leave no stone unturned. Otherwise, you'll end up kind of coaching with regret after the fact. Luckily, the schedules came out a long time ago, so I digested that and knew what week 1 was. And luckily, it's the Miami Dolphins versus New England Patriots, and not a one-on-one square-off between head coaches.
Yeah, it's not a one-on-one square-off head coaches. That's true, and that's a nice cliche to throw around. But in a lot of ways, it is. There's a lot of one-on-one matchups here that are interesting. Obviously, you got Mac Jones versus Tua. They don't play each other on the field, but it doesn't matter. You have the Alabama ties there, both first-round quarterbacks. Mac Jones is a boob. Tua is cool. There's a big battle there between this. And then with Bill Belichick, yeah, he is that mastermind who will always take a guy away and try and do things that will make you think, man, how did I not come up with that? And that I almost feel like with this whole idea of coming down to South Florida, that to me is almost a veteran head coach trying to play games with a rookie head coach. All right, you think you're preparing for this game? Because I'm super preparing for this game. I got my team coming. Are you in a different time zone? No, but I don't care. I'm getting used to the heat. Even, we're going to be so used to the heat. So I feel like that's almost like the game Belichick is trying to do here, and really, it's unbecoming of him, of a legend, a man who has such greatness in his past. Although definitely tainted by cheating. Such greatness in his past. It smells, reeks to me of a man who does not feel like he has a roster that can adequately stand up to the Miami Dolphins. But McCochin has himself a warning for old Bill.
It is a component, but to make it black and white, I don't think myself nor Coach Belichick, I don't want to speak for him, but I think that's just a component that he's trying to help his team get.
You don't want to speak for him because you couldn't quote him anyway, because it's like
prepared for that game, but it's not the entirety of it, and so it'll be good for them to, I feel very lucky, almost overly lucky that I get to work on my tan all the time. I'm sure there's a lot of players and coaches for the Patriots. They'll be excited to bronze up a little bit, before the TV regular season starts. So
Mac Jones wears a swim shirt.
I know that for a fact that if you don't put sunscreen on, you will get bronzed. So factually, they better SPF up.
Yeah. You better SPF up because you've already effed up. That's why. That's what it is. That's a warning. A McCochin warning. And bronze up. Let's be honest, dude. We know Mac Jones. All right, the dude's going to look like lobster mac and cheese is what he's going to look like. All right, that dude is going to be as pink as they come when it comes to this. And he's from Jacksonville anyway. Those beaches up there, horrid. Horrid. So, good luck, Mac. In the words of Tua Tagovailoa, good luck, Mac. Fantastic. I love a little McCochin. Swaggy McCochin. Not shook by anything with this Bill Belichick, who's got to overcompensate for his team that comes down here. Oh, we're going to get down here early. All right, dude. We'll see. We'll see how this rolls. But game week is upon us. And the Patriots, their whole plan is let's melt for a couple extra days and get everybody super exhausted to come down here. Genius.